Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode for PRK Productions. So this episode, I'm going to go over some pictures that I took with the new lens I just purchased. It's a Sigma 24-70 1.8. We actually took a day trip up to Boston just so I could purchase this lens. Didn't want to wait the 2 days for Amazon to ship it, so we made a day trip. I was able to get some good shots going up there with the lens I had on the camera, which is a 20mm 1.8 prime lens, Sony G series. It's a really good lens. It's a really sharp lens. The lens I picked up, which is the Sigma 24-70 2.8, still a really good lens. I was going to do a whole review and everything on it, but I figured you really wouldn't care about the review that I have to give it. There's probably 24 videos of other people giving it reviews. I watched those videos. Those videos highly recommended it. It was a small price difference in compared to the, well, a large price difference in compared to the Sony. Otherwise, I would have just bought the Sony G series. I did have one little drawback in getting the Sigma. When I had all my Nikon gear, I did buy a Sigma 70-200 because just the price. And I found that the Sigma lens wasn't as sharp as any of Nikon Nikkor lenses. So I was a little worried about that with Sony, but a lot of the reviews that I had looked up on YouTube actually said that this particular Sigma 24-70 2.8 art series in some people's opinion, was actually sharper than the Sony. Now, I can be a little bit brand loyal, even though I just hopped onto this Sony brand and all the gear, but I don't really have anything to compare it to, so I picked up the lens. The second we walked out of the store, I ripped it out of the box, I put it on the camera and started taking pictures. It is noticeably a lot heavier than the 20mm I had on there. I have all prime lenses that weigh nothing. This lens does have a little bit of weight. Pretty decent size too. You know, zoom lens, got the hood, looks real fancy. Let's see, what can I show you here? So you have your autofocus, manual focus, focusing button, and you actually have a lock on here. So if you went all the way down to 24mm, you can lock it, but you just pull it, it clicks open. So I'm not going to do a full review on the lens and how awesome or horrible I thought it is or isn't. Actually, I think it's pretty good. I liked having it on the camera. I like having the zoom capability compared to all my prime lenses, but I also really like the crystal clear shots I've been getting with the Sony A7 III and the prime lenses on there. But with that being said, and I got some really clear shots with the 24-70, and I did a little bit of editing in Lightroom, and so we'll just hop over to that and take a peek. So this is the part where I'm going to share my screen with you. Here's just a few images that I took on a trip to Boston to pick up the new lens. This one was taken with the 20mm 1.8 on the ride up. I really like the composition between the headrest. There's a little bit of cropping involved. It's a very wide angle lens, but I think it came out good overall. The next image is actually probably my favorite. We were waiting for the train. There's a lot of leaving lines, and actually my favorite part of the image I didn't even know I captured until I was editing, and that happens to be the reflection of the train in the building right in the billboard. That was purely by accident, but I really like how it came out. The next image is the very first image that I took with the new Sigma 24-70 2.8. The store I bought it from, Hunt's Video, is like right here. I got out of the store, ripped the box open, put the lens on, walked about 20 feet, took this picture. I didn't even stop walking. I just aimed at this older gentleman smoking a cigarette and hit the shutter button. Now, with the lens being at 24mm when I did that, it's a fairly wide shot. I had to do a decent amount of cropping just to get the composition I currently have, and I think that the camera and the lens did a pretty decent job, all things considered. Like I said, I didn't even stop walking. Now, on the way to find a park for Parker to play in, I walked by this building, or I should say we walked by this building, building, and it really caught my eye. I really like the symmetry. There's a lot of good architecture in Boston, and this just caught my eye. I'm still working with the colors a little bit. I'm not fully satisfied with how everything came out, but I really like the composition. This again was shot at 24 millimeters. I barely cropped it. I just wanted to get a little more symmetry, and I'm still working on it. I think the sharpness is really good, actually, all things considered. There's a little bit of processing involved so far. Now, the last picture I'm going to show you, we were waiting at a crosswalk, and these young folks just happened to be on the other side. I think this image would have been better if this young man wasn't in it, but overall, it's a good picture. There's a lot of highlights. I'm still in the process of editing this photo. I'm not 100% happy with it. I like how it came out so far. I've worked on it a handful of times, and those are the ones that I posted to social media so far, and the rest of them I haven't really worked on. So I'll leave you with that. I'm going to post a link to my Instagram in the description of this video if you want to check it out, if you want to follow me. I put most of my work up on there after I edit it in Lightroom. I'll then share it to my personal Facebook. Also for this week, I'm going to have to So my creative endeavor for the week that just passed was a day trip to Boston, where I was able to do some street photography and also spend the day with my family and pick up a new lens that I could tell you about and show you some of the images. I don't have black marker. Another week down, another week to go. I hope you enjoyed watching. Subscribe if you did. Hit the like button, and I'll see what I can come up with for next week. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you later.